that shit?
So that Black Clover chapter, it's yeah, it's not really looking too good. I mean, because I have to share my opinions on this. I know I'm probably late to the party with this, but I've been seeing a lot of people cover it. I'm like, I need to get in on this too. So the whole scene where I'm sorry, the whole devil arc, I should say, the build up to it was great. Everything about it was great. It's just that when it came down to the ending, they made it too generic. It was like literally the same, and I'm like, really, like, okay, like there's nothing like great about it. Like there wasn't no Asta losing his humanity or um, Lucifero him just becoming like this amazing person we all thought he was gonna be, and then he just gets shitted on and gets his heart stolen, and then that's it. And then everyone gets brought back to life, saved and healed, and everyone is like saying, "Yay, we won!" And I'm like, where was the major deaths? Like when you look at Naruto, right? And I know there's gonna be some people that's gonna hate when I say this, but when you look at Naruto, Madara came along and he fucked up everybody. Now you could argue and you could say he didn't like none of the Hokages died, right? He you could say he put them on like a maybe like close to death, right? But they didn't die. But the people in the war, like the nobodies, like the ninjas, he fucked them up and killed them. He fucked them up and killed them. There was no resurrections. There was no nothing. He fucked them up and killed them. And then on top of that, Naruto and Sasuke was put on nearly on life support. He had them on fucking life support. And I'm like, see, that's how you fucking do it. That's how you fucking do it. Yes, he was turned into a woman later on, but that's how you fucking do it, right? But over here in Black Clover, it was like, well, um, wow, okay, wow, like this is what we got here. Like, Lucifer gets defeated. Nothing like Asta's impending death never happened, and it's like, what's going on here? Like, this isn't what I came to see. It's supposed to be like nitty and gritty and stuff. Because for the people who say that, oh, like Black Clover would overlap Berserk or like surpass Berserk, I'm sorry. Unfortunately, this chapter kinda didn't really um do anything. It didn't really surpass anything because you look at Berserk and Berserk is just all over the place. But the story itself is really interesting, and there was like stakes. There was people who died, so it wasn't like in Black Clover where there wasn't anybody important that should have died and stuff because everyone like had holes in their chest and shit. Like you had Noct and you had Yami. Like they should have been dead or something, or Noct should have either given. Actually, no. What would have been better is if Yami would have. I don't know if he was had like whatever little energy he had left or magic he had left or whatever, gave it over to Noct and been like, well, now you take over, and he dies or whatever. So I don't know, something interesting, and then had Noct to be like the new captain and stuff, and for him to learn like the importance of life. I think that would have been great for him to learn like the importance of life rather than being okay. Everyone's healed and everyone's alive and shit. Like, nigga, what? How is anybody supposed to take any of the like the arcs, the future arcs important or the stakes important in the future if everyone doesn't die? They're just gonna survive and live. Like, okay, everything's done. All right, that's enough. Like really, what? Like that's it? Like, what happened to like the juice? What happened to the spark? What happened to, the stakes is high? What happened to that? Like, there was none of that. Like, and I've seen people talk about like the elf arc, where the elf arc was better. It was insanely better, and it had people, and I can agree to that. Like, the elf arc was pretty good. It was really good. You have like a no name demon who just showed up and just fucked everybody up and murdered people, and it was just like, oh yeah, this shit was pretty good. It was really good. And then you get to the king of devils, and he gets his ass beaten, and that was
Nigga, I ain't ask you to do that shit.
pretty much it. And Asta should have died right there too. He should have died because he was on near death too. And it's like, where did he get the last kick out draw? Like, he's a Super Saiyan and he's able to come back and he wins. And it's like, wait a minute, he's not Goku. He can't be on his Goku time. Like, what the fuck? So I can kind of understand as to why people didn't really like the ending of this chapter as much. Like the ending arc of it just kind of like felt really flat. And I think there have been some people who just it hurt them so bad they left Black Clover. They left it. Like, I'm not saying everyone left, but there was some people who just like they got turned off by it and they said, eh, it's just the same old same old. Because when you think about it, when it comes down to like shonen manga, anime, or whatever, there's sometimes they don't really have that many stakes. Sometimes they don't really have that many stakes, or something that makes you like truly invested where you want to see more, rather than it being like something that's generic that you've seen for the last 25 years or so, and it kind of gets stale and pointless. So you would think in Black Clover or any future anime and manga in the future, they would do something that would have the reader come in more, like have them die and stuff. Because like I go back to Naruto again, it was like when when Madara put them on like this life support type thing, and they was able to come back that way. We genuinely thought like, oh my god, like they gonna die and Madara wins. Because how often do you see the bad guy actually winning in shonen manga? How often do you like he truly wins, and then and the manga and the anime is over, that's it, said and done? You don't really get that as often, if next to nothing. Because I understand it's to have everyone believe that, yeah, the good guy wins, he's gonna win, he's gonna beat the bad guy, and that's it and stuff. I understand that, but I'd rather it be sometimes the bad guy wins. Like, the good guy does everything that he can, he gets all the power, and he still loses. I would prefer it that way, so that way it can have like some sort of stakes, and it could be really interesting and stuff. Because they could do like a story with the bad guy and be like, okay, like 20 years later, 10 years later, the bad guy won, but then there's a new person that's coming to challenge him, and he's like, well, I beat the last guy like 5-10 years ago, what can you do? And then the new guy beats him. And then it's interesting because you're like, okay, you were so invested with the old guy, now what the new guy is doing, what can he do and stuff. So it draws the readers in and makes it more interesting and stuff. But just to have everybody win and nobody dies, boy, come on, son, that's not how this works. You really trying to piss people off. Like, that's not how this works. But I believe that people are gonna start seeing some of these future animes and mangas, and you're gonna be turning their head. Because how can you be invested into something and the main character he's just gonna beat everybody and stuff? It's not like One Punch Man. Because One Punch Man is like completely different, right? It's not like Dragon Ball Z, because Dragon Ball Z, there was some stakes. People did die. A lot of people died in Dragon Ball Z. People got wished back, but that's completely different, right? And Black Clover, well, I mean, you had opportunities. Like, what about the Witch Queen? She could have done something. She could have been like, well, all these books and knowledge and shit. Like, she could have done something like, well, we kind of fought you guys, a couple of years, thousands of years ago, so I have the means to destroy you. I don't know, some ice and shit. I don't know, like something good. But they fucked up. So, hey, maybe he gonna get it right in the next arc. Who knows? But if you like what you heard you like. Please subscribe, share, do all that wonderful stuff, and I catch you later. Good.